Hi, I'm Anna and I'm a cancer rehab specialist with Move, but I am also a nutritionist. Now, we know by now that physical activity is safe, it's possible, and it's very beneficial for people living with or recovering from cancer. But in order to reap the rewards and to feel stronger, we must fuel well through our diets. So remember that everybody's needs are different. We're all on very unique and different journeys, and this is very generalised advice. You must seek guidance from your clinical team before making any changes to your diet. But first, why is nutrition so important when we are on this journey, right? So firstly, to maintain our energy levels, it supports our activities of daily living. We want to preserve and rebuild our muscle mass where that's necessary. We want to manage the side effects of cancer and its treatment, including and especially cancer-related fatigue. We want to manage any nausea or appetite change challenges, which is most principally done through our nutrition. But we also want to improve our overall well-being and mitigate the risk of cancer reoccurrence, right? So, some really generalised initial tips. Most of our nutrition ought to be made up of what we call whole foods, and so that's foods that have been processed as little as possible. So we're thinking about things like fruits, vegetables, lean meats, fish, beans, grains, legumes, that kind of stuff. A variety of fruits and vegetables is also really important to support our health and to support our immunity. But we should figure out the balance of proteins, carbohydrates and fats that are right for us as individuals. Most of our carbohydrate intake really should be through vegetables, fruits, beans, whole grains, legumes. Most of our fat intake should be unsaturated, so that's things like oily fish, avocado, nuts, good quality olive oils. Most of our protein should be made up of lean meat or fish if you eat animal products, or plant-based combinations of protein sources if you don't. The rest of our diets we can make up with what I like to call fun foods. So according to our preference, because that supports our mental health and our social health, right, which are other really, really important aspects of our health. So when we think about fuel and physical activity, we can think about a couple of different categories. So first one, pre-activity. So at this time you want to consume mostly carbohydrates, and that's largely whole grain varieties of things. So things like brown rice, brown pasta, brown whole grain bread varieties. Some fruits or starchy vegetables, but not a huge amount of those because they can be a little bit more difficult to digest due to what we call fibre, resulting in digestion issues during exercise. We want a little bit of protein before we exercise, but we also want to limit our fat intake because again they can be trickier for the body to digest. We should always be hydrated, but especially in the couple of hours leading up to physical activity. And some examples of things that I like before activity would include porridge with some berries, or toast with peanut butter and banana, hummus and crackers, or a personal favourite, Greek yogurt with a little bit of fruit and some granola. Beans on toast is always a nice one too, nice comfort food. So if we're thinking about after our physical activity, we want to consume carbohydrates again to replenish our energy stores within our muscles, some protein to repair and rebuild those muscles, some fruits and vegetables to give the body the essential vitamins and minerals that it needs to recover, some fats essential for our hormone and cell health. And some example meals here might be chicken with sweet potato and vegetables, eggs on toast with some greens maybe, salmon rice with some veggies, a tuna salad wrap, again the porridge and the fruits but maybe with a little bit of protein powder stirred through this time for that protein hit. Now, people quite often ask me for some nutritious snack ideas as well. So some of my favourites include fruit smoothies, and even better if you can pop some Greek yogurt or again some of that protein powder in so that you've got that little bit of extra hit of protein. Cottage cheese I love on some crackers. Nuts, a handful of nuts and dried fruit. banana or apple with peanut butter, some roasted edamame beans, they go nice and crispy, or again some fruit and Greek yogurt with a little bit of muesli or granola or something like that. But remember, this is all so individual and we all have different wants, needs and preferences. And if you have any questions about nutrition, it's best to speak with your clinical team.